Okay, time for day 4. So I didn't do any vlogging yesterday because I was working on the podcast, which of course you can listen to by finding it wherever you listen to podcasts or by going to the website. There's a link there as well. In fact, I'll put all the links in the description below too. But yeah, yesterday was a bit topsy-turvy because Julie kind of worked half day, then we had to go to meet Liam's teacher to kind of talk about the end of the term and how he's been doing. He's been doing very, very well. He's been doing very, very well, like really well. Like, I'm gonna be that ridiculous dad and just like let everyone know that my son, according to the school at least, is exceptional. I always knew it. But anyway, today Julie is fully home, so there's an extra person in the house, which obviously is great because it means that some of the responsibilities get divvied up. But the one thing I am really struggling with is keeping things tidy, because obviously you don't have 4 people in the home all day every day normally, so it's kind of easier to maintain. But now with 4 human beings eating and drinking and just living in the space, there's just a lot more cleaning up to do. So that's kind of taking up most of my free time as well. So I don't know how you're doing. Are you okay? Are you coping? Yeah. Let's see how the day goes. Together, Eli. And then you're gonna go like this. Yeah, can you do what Liam's doing? Come, Eli. Okay, we're gonna do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Eli didn't do any. Okay. Ah! And go grab this look. Like a bear. And you're gonna put your hands out like this, no, like over here. Yes. Okay. Are you ready, Eli? Watch. Just come up. Okay, come on this way. Okay, come on this way. Okay, so now let's go all the way back and pass. So it takes a little bit of cajoling to get Eli to do anything. Like, to get him to do absolutely anything takes like manipulation. Okay, Eli, you need to listen, because this is how you can get special rewards, special prizes, and special treats. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you listening?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I have in one hand, I have 5 blue pieces of Lego.
Yes.
These are going to be Liam's Legos, because they're blue. You hold them for now. Eli, I have 5 green pieces of Legos for you, and you actually color coordinated with your first today. Okay. Every time you do something on this list, you get to put one of your Legos on here, or maybe 2 Legos on here. When you get to put 5 pieces of Legos on,
Like this.
then you get a reward.
Like what, Lily?
So a reward can be TV time. A reward can be a walk down to the shop to get ice lollies. A reward can be bike ride, a trip to the park to ride your bikes. This is how you get to put your Lego pieces on here. If you don't ask me for TV for 30 minutes, if you don't ask for TV at all, you get to put a block on.
I don't know what TV.
Okay.
And whoever gets
don't
5
ask.
first
No,
gets...
it's not a race. Then if you listen the first time, I ask you to do something. So let's say I say, please pick up a piece of paper, and you do it right away, you get to put a block on. So every time you listen, the first time you get to put a block on.
Okay.
Let me put the blocks on here
Play
for now.
nice.
Then, Liam, what does it say?
Play nicely with Daisy.
If you play nicely with Daisy for a bit outside, you get to put a block on. What does it say, Liam?
Being nice to each other.
So, let me tell you something. You guys have listened very, very nicely. You've listened nicely, and you've listened nicely. So
I don't want to watch TV with you.
and you don't want to ask, you haven't asked for TV. Okay, Liam, you haven't asked for TV either. So you also get, right away, you guys already have 2 blocks. Look at that.
Oh,
You just need 3 more, and then you get a treat.
this morning there is no problem.
Okay, immediate crisis mode. Julie's been home for 3 hours, and we have no coffee.
It is it's a crisis. We're having tea now, and we're gonna go out and get coffee.
There's no coffee.
I know. I might be able to make a can.
We have plunger coffee. Make plunger coffee for me,
We
please.
don't have a working plunger.
We don't have a working plunger. What are we going to do? Send help.
Someone send us a plunger
Vida.
or a coffee machine.
Okay. Calling out to anyone who works for Vida.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Seattle.
Seattle. Any coffee people.
Espresso, any coffee.
Any coffee people, just send it to us. Direct line.
Willie's coffee. Lovely.
Do you guys have coffee? Liam, do you have coffee?
No.
Tell me the truth. Do you have coffee? Eli, do you have coffee?
No. Dad,
Yeah.
we've cleaned up our rooms.
What?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, look here. What's your mommy doing? Can you pull this corner? Pull it down there. Yeah. No, you want to get your bricks. Yes. And you do a good job.
Okay, so it's lunchtime, and apparently the usual selection of toasted cheese salmis and boiled eggs is no longer good enough. So Mom over there has to make like a snack plate for these boys. And I think this is going to be another fracture point for the next couple of weeks. Like, what do you feed your kids? For some reason they're okay with the same stuff for school every single day, but when they're home, they expect like variety and they expect like wondrous things for lunch every day. And maybe we need to get them used to the idea that no, you're gonna have the same kind of sandwich at the same time every day at school, like the way you would at school. Hey love, lunch is gonna be a problem, right?
Everything's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, but we're not the problem. Other people are the problem. I may be the problem.
What have you got? Tell him. Ask Dad if you can. Ask Dad what you got. Tell him. No, put it out in the bin. The bin's full.
Was your carrot stick not good enough, my love?
No.
So I've had to run out to the mall to go to 3 stores, and I gotta tell you, I'm like coronavirus everywhere. You know, people aren't staying a meter away from you, like people are still standing right behind you in queues. This place is a death trap. So the interesting thing is that when you're walking around in public like this, especially in a place where there are lots of people touching surfaces and you have to touch stuff, you know, I have to touch this trolley that I'm pushing, I have to touch elevator buttons, you know, there's just, you know, door handles that everyone is opening that you're also opening. You realize how, if there is something that is super contagious, how quickly it can spread. We're touching so many stuff. And of course, the whole day, didn't need to touch my face at all until I started touching other things, and now my face is itchy. Oh, I'm gonna get this virus. Oh, I can tell. I'm never leaving the house again. So one of the big things that I've realized this whole coronavirus issue has highlighted is how bad we are at disseminating and retrieving and working out which information is valid, right? We have just too many sources of information. So, you know, some members of our family watch a lot of TV news, and the 24-hour news cycle means that they constantly have to be putting out new stuff, even if it's not as carefully fact-checked as it should be, or even it might be true, but it might not be appropriate to share that information just yet. And all that's starting to do is getting people really, really scared. And then those people go on social media and they share their fears with all their friends and family, and that's how fear kind of just spreads. And look, I'm probably not the first person to think of this, but the thing that has spread faster than coronavirus worldwide is the fear of coronavirus. And a lot of that is justified, but a lot of it is just bad information. So a couple of minutes ago, I was just listening to my wife give some very good advice to one of our family members who is struggling with this, who's just kind of overcome with fear and kind of paralyzed. And the advice she gives is just this: we just have to do what we can. Like, We can self-isolate. We can make sure we're cleaning our hands regularly. We can make sure that we're using alcohol swabs and keeping surfaces clean, and we can make sure that if we're experiencing cold symptoms that, you know, we particularly stay away from people. We can keep ourselves away from the elderly, but we can also help elderly people, you know, who live near to us or who are part of our family. We can do all those things. We can't control how it spreads globally, but you have a level of control, like in your own space, and just do what you can there. Everything else, there's no point stressing about because you have no control or effect on it. It's wise words. My wife can be quite wise sometimes. Anyway, it's starting to get late in the afternoon and there's still a lot of cleaning up to do. There's a lot of work to do. I still have to make supper. There's a lot, and I'm still struggling to keep my head afloat. You know, we started this new reward system today for the boys, where they get a Lego brick every time they do a particular set of good things, and if they get 5 bricks, they get a reward, whether it's, you know, a ice lolly or TV time, or we play a special game with them or something. Which is great because it means that their behavior has improved dramatically. But even that requires like mental energy and control, and they're coming to me every 5 minutes trying to like persuade me that they need another brick. So now a lot of my time is just kind of negotiating what is brick-worthy and what isn't brick-worthy. I think I've just made my life a little bit harder instead of easier. Anyway, on to supper.